And good morning, and welcome again to one of our series in Meet the Speakers for CAV Forum 2024, to be held in Geneva, 22 to 24 October this year. And this morning I'd like to welcome Jan Bohlen from EDAG. Jan, good morning to you, sir.
Hi, good morning, Rob.
Excellent.
Nice to meet you again.
Nice to see you again. All right. Maybe we can start off then, as we normally do, and speak briefly about your background and the role you play there in EDAG.
Yeah, of course, I will do so. First of all, hello to the internet as well. It's the first time for me to be on YouTube. It's a great pleasure. And also it's the first time for us to join with a presentation at the CAV conference at the ADEX this year. To my background, as Rob already introduced me a little, I'm a project leader at EDAG. EDAG is an engineering service supplier acting all around the world. We are independent, so that is our greatest benefit in this case. We can, act and work together with all the different parties, not only in the automotive industry, but also in the defense sector. And that is exactly where I am located at EDAG. I was able to wrote my two theses, a bachelor and master thesis here at EDAG in Ingolstadt in the field of blast and ballistic simulation. And since then, I'm working here as a CAE engineer and, as I said, now project leader in the field of defense applications. That includes, of course, civilian and military vehicles, as well as other protective devices. We made usually we make simulations on the field of blast and ballistic protection. So to evaluate all the different protection capabilities of those different equipments.
Very good, excellent. All right, so look, we're very much looking forward to your presentation at CAV Forum 2024. The industry is intrigued, I suppose, is a word, and mystified at the same time about the issue of blast protection and blast testing, and therefore the role that EDAG plays in the simulation study is of enormous benefit to the industry. So maybe you can just give us a quick outline of some of the topics that you're going to be covering during your presentation in CAV Forum 2024.
Yes, of course, Rob, I will do that. So at last year's CAV Forum, it was stated that more people actually die inside of civilian armored vehicles as a result of a roadside accident than as a result of a direct attack from a ballistic threat or a blast or fragmentation IED or a mine or something like this. So, and yeah, besides the obvious fact, of course, that the chances to be involved in the heavy roadside accidents are way higher than to be involved in a direct attack, I will give a little insight into the development of the OEM crash strategy process of vehicles. And in addition to this, I will give, of course, some examples regarding the modification of civilian armored vehicles. And to be precise, on the removal of some occupant protection features and what those features or the removal of those features might have a drastic impact on the crash performance of those vehicles. And of course, I will cover that in my presentation and bring some examples to this. And to give a better understanding for crash and blast related occupant loading conditions and the different structural effects, I will make a little comparison side by side between selected crash test scenarios and side blast scenarios from different certification requirements, so that we will be able to see the different loading conditions on the structure here and how to protect the occupants against different threats, so to say. So we have the one hand side, the blast threat, but on the other hand side, the more common one is, of course, the crash threat that can happen all the time. So therefore, I will do a little comparison, and of course spice it up with some examples what might happen in the crash, during the crash, and of course in the aftermath of the crash, since this is important all the time. Since it's not only important to survive the initial crash or the initial attack, but you have to survive the second impact or the aftermath of the crash as well.
Indeed, indeed. Oh, look, we're very much excited about the presentation, and as you said, in last year's CAV Forum, we had a wonderful presentation in relation to the crash test, the biofidelic dummy that is now used as part of the ERV blast test and blast certification for civilian armoured vehicles. And so the information that you're providing, will be a nice segue and a nice connection to that presentation that we had, and giving our users, the fleet managers and procurement agencies particularly, a greater understanding of what goes behind the engineering of the blast protection for vehicles. Because again, we're putting people in harm's way. And so having the confidence that the vehicle that they will procure, they will maintain, and they will drive in those high threat areas of operation will be matched to the threats, to the threats that people are facing. And so talking through that then a bit further, maybe there are some future threats, there are some future opportunities and future issues that you think that will be coming up over the next couple of years that you might be able to discuss too.
Yeah, that's definitely a large point you mentioned here, and it's a perfectly fitting point actually, since we are facing all over the world, especially in the Ukraine, all the time more diverse attacking modes as a result of improvisation and adaptation of classical warheads and for other purposes. The leading example, as I said, is can be seen in the Ukraine each day are UAVs, unmanned aerial vehicles, or drones in easy words. They are cheap, they are available and easy to control. They're equipped with cameras and various kinds of explosives, and different grenade types, ammunitions can be fitted below them. So this actually threat from above will result in higher armoring levels on the roof section of those vehicles, and therefore, of course, add more weight to the vehicles and increase the center of gravity even further.
Absolutely.
So, and of course, needless to say, what this means to the driving stability. Even today, there is a high chance to be involved in a rollover crash scenario in the end.
Right.
With all different types of civilian armored vehicles. I will face that and cover that in my presentation as well. And you have a high chance to face a rollover as a result of simply heavy maneuvering of the vehicle, if you don't properly know how to drive those vehicles on the limit. So therefore, the rollover crash scenarios will be one of my leading examples in my presentation at the CAV Forum in Geneva this year.
And I think that's really interesting about the UAV threat that we're seeing around the world, and certainly in the Ukrainian theatre. And that, yes, the structure and the protection on the roofing of a vehicle is likely to change in the near future. And again, it's going to change the engineering design of the vehicle, the dynamics of the vehicle, the weight. And that's something that industry is going to have to really get its head around and understand how to incorporate the threats, the greater protection, and still maintain the safe dynamics of the vehicle and the discretion, the visual discretion of the vehicle still needs to look like a civilian vehicle more so than as a military vehicle. All right. So look, Jan, thanks so much for your time. We appreciate your time now, and also very much looking forward to seeing you in October at CAV Forum 2024. Thanks very much.
Thank you, Rob.
Thank you.
We are looking forward to it too. And thanks for the invitation.
Excellent.
See you there.
Thank you indeed. Bye-bye.